Before we get into the episode, we actually got a question from one of our listeners.
We did. We figured it'd be a fun one to answer with the mom here as well.
And
Hello. Get a little bit of extra
input. Yeah.
And our question was, what monster from the Monster Manual would you be?
Would you be?
Yeah, would you be?
Not favorite, not
strategic.
tastiest, but which one would you be?
Mm-hmm. Personality-wise.
Well, we spent time.
We looked over it.
We did some research.
We delved.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And I use delve because I like a lot of oceanic stuff. So the mom's choice for things that I would choose a kraken.
Ooh.
If I have to choose that I want to be it, I want to be strong and I want to have some powers. So krakens have layer actions. They are kind of non-sociable creatures.
They're very big.
living in the bottom of the ocean and just dealing with whatever comes by. Searching for treasure, wrecking ships when they feel like it.
Yeah. Owning
So I like
sections of the sea.
So I like that kind of being like the master of my domain.
Nice.
Having those layer actions, extra things to help me beyond my own powers and being kind of a kraken.
The
for the mom.
Kraken the Mighty. My brain went to the kind of obscure Rakshasa, which is a tiger humanoid fiend, and they're super crazy. They can like shapeshift. They have anti-magic powers, like certain spells under a certain level don't even work on them. They're stalkers, they're hunters.
They have backwards hands.
They do have backwards hands. They're very weird. And I just think they're super cool. These like crazy demon tiger dudes. So that's where my brain went for what I would be.
Where my brain went is actually an Oni, which are very creepy, tall, ogre-like, kind of the boogeyman of Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And they have shape-shifting capabilities and sneaky capabilities. And
Can't they like levitate and stuff too? And they can do all
and they
sorts
have,
of craziness?
Yeah, they can disguise themselves as different humanoid races. And so I would be an Oni.
So
just
we are
for-
both creepy demon dudes and you're a giant beast in the ocean.
See, also, you guys are all prepared to shapeshift and be sneaky and be out in the world with other things, and I'm like, nah, I got my
Who needs to
my
shapeshift
deep
when you
hole
have a
in the ocean,
800-foot
cave.
body or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Understood.
All right.
All right, thank you for the question. And without further ado,
We shall get into the episode.
here we go. Dice. Rolls. Dragons. Trolls.
Adventurous.
So it begins. How about that? The sugar finally moves across the floor fully, completely removing from your guys' feet, and the floor is now stone, and the sugar, the last little grains, form into the biscuit golem, and it roars and sugary.
It's not
Brown
a
sugar
biscuit
golem.
Dang it. The brown sugar golem. I got it. Locked in now. And it roars a sugary roar.
What is a sugar?
No, that's like a normal roar.
So
What's a sugary roar?
That sounds like Orn when he's angry.
It's like liquidy.
And so we're jumping into the combat. What were the initiatives again?
21.
Min with the 21. Dirtha with the Dirtha.
9.
Oh no.
And me with the natural 20 on the dice.
The brown
So
sugar golem.
We got
It
surprised by
roars.
sugar.
you did. It roars its sugary roar.
This has to be unhygienic.
And it's going to reach into its chest, grab a chunk of itself out, and you guys watch as it like heats up and caramelizes into a sugary lump.
No.
And it's going to run forward, but it can only run 20 feet. I'm going to say it's about 60 feet away from you guys. It runs 20 feet, slides to a stop, and just pitches at both of you.
Oh,
It
okay.
pulls 2 off, and it's
Oh.
doing a multi-attack.
Caramelized
First
sugar.
roll on Min is a 20 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Second roll on Dirtha is a 19 to hit.
That
Uh-oh.
also hits.
Ha ha ha! Damage! 7 sugar damage to you,
Ow.
and 8 sugar damage to you, Dirtha. Of course, sugar damage is like necrotic. You can't heal from it, and you smell delicious. No, I'm just kidding. It's just normal. It's just normal bludgeoning damage.
It lands on Dirtha's shoulder, and she leans in and licks it a little bit.
It's really good. It is very, very good.
I see you doing that, and I think Min thinks for a second, and I think she thinks in her head, might need to collect some of this after the battle.
And so just a quick reminder about the stakes. You guys are here trying to get that biscuit recipe, the pine biscuit recipe. You have collectively used 2 flashbacks from Min, 1 flashback from Dirtha, and you've got Brizelda, the sorcerer ogress, as your teammate, as your friend, and Orn the dragon is here as well. So just to reiterate things that you might have prepped for, trained for, flashbacks are on the table, use what you need. But that was the the sugar golem's turn. I even wrote sugar golem.
Biscuits are on the brain.
It's
Yeah.
the biscuit
You're busy,
heist.
Biscuit heist.
And so with that, Min, it is your turn, and I'm just going to put Orn right after you.
Right. Okay. Min would see this and sees that it's kind of heating itself up with the attacks, but sugar does melt. So I think
It does.
Mhm.
That's true.
and so I think she is going to just pull out her arcane spoon. That is my arcane focus, and the scales on her face glow a little bit, and she is going to cast Sorcerous Burst at this thing.
Okay. That's the one you can like pick the damage or whatever.
Yes. So,
Cool.
but first I have to roll to hit. 17?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
hits.
All right. So this
Easy to hit this thing.
Yes. You see this green ball of energy shoot out from my spoon as I whip it forward.
Like a food fight.
Yeah. Yeah,
fling it.
like use it like a catapult and
Okay.
fling it forward, and this is going to be acid damage to this thing.
Okay.
For 5 damage.
5 damage to the golem. The acid hits it. It roars in apparent pain, and it looks grumpy.
Is this thing, how far away is this thing from us?
It's about 40 feet away.
Can I go, is this room round?
This is like a big oval arena style room. Like you walked in and
Yeah.
it felt like
It felt
you
like
were
the
in
boss
like
battle.
arena sand and everything,
Yeah.
but then it formed into the golem. So it's a big oval room.
Okay, I want to see if I can kind of strafe along the side, if preferably without getting closer to it, but just
Yeah, it's in the
farther
center.
away from
Yeah.
Dirtha.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You are able to strafe, keep looking at you.
All right.
Is turn. Orn could, again, has a little bit of a cold breath situation. Can also do bite attacks. Anything you guys would like Orn to do specifically? He goes, yeah.
You should definitely cold breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say he
Like
rushes
sugar freeze.
forward. We'll say he got it back from before. And he is going to stay about 15 feet away, rear back his head, cool crystals form around the edges of his mouth, and he... Oh, wait, no. That's good, because that was a terrible roll. But it's a constitution saving throw for the golem. Has great constitution, but I rolled a 2.
Oh,
so it
yay.
fails, and somebody roll 3d8.
Here. I got an
5.
8.
So 13 plus...
Another 7.
Ooh, nice
So
job,
20.
Orn.
Nice.
20 cold damage
Wait, can sugar
from
freeze?
Orn. You see as it hits the sugar golem, parts of it do kind of clump together and
Oh.
flake off. But that's me just having fun with flavor. It hits a normal
Flavor.
amount of damage. Ha flavor. Dirtha, I believe it is your turn.
After I lick the sugar off my
You
arm,
guys are both licking
I'd
the
like
sugar. Okay.
I'd like to peek around this room.
Okay. Little
For-
bonus action perception check.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I could. If there's a way for us to,
Sure.
if we're trying to get through to a certain door, for me, that's a 15.
I mean, very easy to see. The door you just came through is now closed behind you, and there is another door on the far side looking very similar, big double wooden door. That is it, as far as you can tell in this room. It is just a solid 40-foot tall roof, arena-style room, and that's it.
Okay. I would like to.
What is this lit by? Like torches? Like what?
Oh, around the edges?
Mhm.
Yes. We'll say that there are those little cooking candles that you put underneath hot wells.
Oh, yeah.
And they put off like a little aroma. So there's little scented cooking candles that are lighting the room.
What would
Would
Dirtha do?
think logically, or would Dirtha smack a golem?
Dirtha would smack a golem. The mom would think logically. Dirtha, yes, okay. Dirtha is going to rage.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she, like, the caramelized brown sugarness of this sugar golem tasted really good, but that also hurt. So she's going to bulk up, grab two-hand on her her great axe, and go into a rage, which
Nice.
for
Which is the
Dirtha is a wild magic burst
Nice.
of energy.
love to see it.
I'm glad I moved away from you just in case. I moved 30 feet away from Dirtha, if that matters.
It all
So,
depends on what Dirtha gets.
I
Are you
need to
moving
roll-
closer first? Just
oh
in
yeah,
case?
I'm gonna be stomping
Okay,
up, just
so
like
you-
big old
melee range. 'Kay.
melee. Yeah,
All right.
stomp. Wild magic surge happens. I roll a d8. So I'm actually no. I start the stomp, and as the rage like overwhelms me, I teleport 30 feet up to this golem.
Nice.
You teleport? That's cool.
What is it?
I just like
What does your teleport look like?
like a blur.
Just not very straight line. like-
Not very. Yeah. Just kind of chaotic.
Zigzagging all over the place.
But I zip over to the golem in a rage. Frostbite great axe that has the billowy iciness coming off of it now, and make a swing at his legs.
It's not hard to hit this guy.
Yeah, but I'm Dirtha, so it does a 12.
A
hit.
12 does hit.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Goodness, that was
He
a
has
sugar.
low armor class.
That is with advantage. Can I be sorry? I know this is going back on that. Can I reckless?
Yeah, for sure. And so
Sorry.
you swing your icy thing at its legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna slice out from underneath it there, and so a D. Ooh, yes!
Wow.
So much excitement.
That was not a Dirtha sort of roll. Out of a D12, I got a 12.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
So that's 17 damage.
17 regular slashing damage.
And then an additional 5 cold damage.
Whoa,
for
Nice.
22. Again, you see it kind of crystallize a little bit of the crystals at its legs. I like to think you kind of like chop down at it at an angle, and one of the legs like loses a slice, and so the whole thing is now slightly lopsided.
Yes. Nice.
And it roars in pain, it roars in anger, and it does the thing that it knows how to do, which is
Gonna smack Dirtha?
gonna double smack Dirtha.
Oh no.
I am reckless, so you get
Advantage?
Advantage.
Okay, so first I rolled terribly, so the first attack is only a 12.
that misses.
Wow. Okay, I
Nice.
rolled the same roll twice. Second attack, okay, like a 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that definitely hits.
So then for the second attack, ooh, I'm sorry. You take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Ah.
High hit for Mr. Sugar Golem.
Okay.
And then it is going to... It's going to stay put with you, kind of square up. But it is going to position itself so that Min is still in its sights as well. It's going to wrap around you a little bit and keep an eye on both of you.
Okay.
But that is its turn. And so, Min, it is your turn. You guys have done some good damage to the Sugar Golem so far.
Great. So this thing is currently partly acidified, partly frozen a little.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not really keeping.
Mhm.
It sloughs off of the sugar. The sugar's kind of ever moving. So your acid hit it, did some damage, but then it kind of sloughed off to the ground. Ice, same thing. The
Ever
crystal-
moving, you said.
The sand, yes. The sugar, yes. I don't know why you said that with that tone, but yes.
All right.
I did say that out loud.
I think I saw Dirtha get hit, and I think she was about to do her little sorcerer's burst again. But I think she saw Dirtha got hit, and you see her scales flash a little bit brighter, and the color of this chromatic orb
Ooh,
changes to red, and it is very hot.
very hot.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 absolutely hits. So this is fire damage.
This is fire
Okay.
damage to melt this thing. 17 fire damage
Whoa,
to this
17.
golem.
fire
Nice.
damage, which is very, very good. However, as it is hit with this fire damage, you watch as, what kind of spell was this? A chromatic orb? So an orb launched out?
Yeah, an orb is an orb that I lob at this thing. And
So it hits him. As it hits him with this orb, it bursts, and you watch it melt across its body. It does take not a stumble back in terms of an opportunity attack, but it kind of stumbles backwards a little bit. And it hits it, and it looks like it's in pain, but that fire starts to melt, hardened, melty caramelization across its chest, and it, after a moment, cools, and it looks like maybe it's a little bit harder to hit on the old chest department.
I thought it would like melt it, but I guess
is caramelizing.
Caramelizing.
And so it did melt a little bit. It did do damage, but it has some other effects. So you would recognize it.
Yeah, is this in a straight line, by the way? Does he have a straight line, me and Dirtha?
Yes, he flanked around.
I'm going to move again.
Keep going. So,
Yeah.
So as you move along the wall, you're starting to get a little closer to that bigger door. And so it's pretty big. It almost looks like this golem could potentially go through this door.
Okay.
So that door on the other side is very large.
All right.
Wait.
Orn, same thing.
Orn,
Orn's gonna, he can't.
Orn, bite the sugary treat.
Yeah. And Orn is going to kind of bounce around a little bit like an excited dog and then lunge forward and take a bite attack on the thing. Barely hits, but hits with a 13. And Orn does 7 damage.
Oh, ow.
So you guys are putting the hurt on this thing. It is starting to get lumps of sugar taken off. It's got carved out sections, but it does have that harder chest carapace of sugar now. And I believe, Dirtha, it is your turn.
Yeah, Dirtha's still raging, and I'm going to go in for a big overhand, swing on it. And I will...
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Barbarians are weird.
You're not usually a melee player.
No, I'm not. So, yeah, I will still attack recklessly. So, which... 22.
Absolutely hits.
22 to hit, so that is my big great axe comes swinging down to slice through that. Oh, I rolled another 12.
Whoa.
So 17 slashing, plus 2 cold.
So 19.
As a big old swing trying to chop it.
Boy.
Nice.
Boy, oh boy, oh. It's still up, but you guys are, you're putting the hurt on this thing.
All right.
So that was your attack. Are you moving or anything?
No, Dirtha would
Stay put.
stay put.
Okay. It is going to take a big chunk of itself. This is going to be a little weird. It's going to take a big chunk of sugar, look at it, and eat it. And then it is going to activate a sugar rush.
Sugar rush.
And it basically turns into a hasted thing. And for this turn and this turn alone, it is going to make 3
Oh boy.
attacks.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And it is going to direct all 3 of them at Dirtha.
Yes.
So
Bring it on.
and I get advantage.
Yes, you get advantage because I did reckless.
First attack's going to hit for a 21.
Yes.
Second attack, 16.
It's
And
Uh-oh.
third attack, 22.
Oh, no.
So Dirtha takes. Oh, you lucky. So I rolled a 1 and a 3 on my dice.
But half because I'm
I know.
raging.
So
Okay.
then the total would have been 18 damage plus 4, 22.
So you take
So I take
11.
But you
11.
only take 11 points of damage. Oh, I rolled so bad on one of them. Okay. It kind of calms back down, that sugar rush over, and it is now no longer its turn. Min, it is your turn. This
Dirtha's
thing, as it
covered in sticky.
yeah, as it hits you with bludgeoning, the
Sticky
little
sugar.
melted sugary, when you get kind of melted sugar on you, it sort of sticks to your skin and clothing and stuff like that. So you are sticky. Min, it is your turn.
All right.
This thing is looking hurt.
Hurt. How far away is this thing from me?
You've been flanking around, so it's probably still 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
You've been staying at range, and it is not an intelligent being. It is a sugar golem.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I cast. I'm gonna cast ice knife at this thing. So I'm
Cool.
going to maybe pulling on a little bit of a connection from Orn. I'm going to
Ooh, I like that. Little ice
form a
crystals
little
in the
ice
air.
spike. Does a 16 hit.
Absolutely.
Thing takes 8 damage.
8 damage, Min. How would you like
Oh,
to destroy the biscuit golem?
It's not a biscuit.
Oh my goodness! As you have reached the 100-point threshold
oh wow.
of its health.
Okay, I think Min kind of closes her eyes a little bit, kind of waves her spoon a little bit in the air. You see this kind of blue glow flash and forms into a sharp spike of ice, and I think she just flicks her spoon and sends it flying towards this golem's chest plate.
Wonderful.
It
It launches forward, hits the golem. I like to think, it like looks down at its chest as the knife like sinks into the sugar, and it like grabs at its chest and pulls out a chunk to look and see if it can find the knife.
and it explodes.
And then it explodes. And Dirtha, as you are standing there and this thing explodes, Min, you have essentially defeated this thing. And no, never mind. Disregard. You guys destroyed it in a specific way. Okay, so it explodes and you are hit with a lot of little granules of sugar, and it's probably slightly uncomfortable, but you don't take any damage or anything.
Gets caught up in my in my robe.
I think Min has probably dealt with sugar explosions before, but not from golems. So I think she just turns around and flips up her hood.
You are far
Protect her
enough
face.
away. I think it's mostly just Orn and Dirtha
Okay.
who are showered with very, very tasty brown sugar.
Are you all
Dirtha
right?
just licks her arm.
No,
just-
no, Dirtha, that's not been. Okay.
Tastes okay.
And the room goes calm.
I think Dirtha would be using that bonus action to try to extend the rage a little bit as we come over to the door to give the new door a try.
I quickly cast Prestidigitation twice and clean you and Orn up from all the sugar.
Okay. You are able to clean them of their
Sugriness.
I go for another lick on my arm, and I'm
It
like,
all just floats
It's
off.
just-
Man,
your arm is
hey.
just sweaty now.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
there's more in the
But
ground if you want it.
I'm gonna try to keep that rage going. So I'm like huffing and puffing and stomping and being, Now I'm mad that Min cleaned up all of the sugar treat that I was
Okay.
enjoying.
Well,
To get over to this door.
yeah, you run over to the door. It does appear to be locked. Do you want to do a little perception check on
Sure.
it as you're close?
Can I do that as well?
14.
Yeah, you can both do it.
23.
You notice as Dirtha goes to jiggle the handle.
I jiggle it really
Yeah,
aggressively.
you notice that it's locked, but Min, you probably notice having a little bit of thievery in your back pocket.
Yeah.
It's locked, but it almost looked like Dirtha could maybe just force it.
All right.
It's a pretty weak door, and you, with
this
your
like-
perception, also get that vibe, but not because you're looking at the tumblers or the lock or anything. You just feel like you could maybe break it.
I say, Dirtha, I think you can let loose a little bit.
I've got this door. I've got it. And
I stand
Dirtha
back.
goes for the same sort of pop lock mechanism that we did to that other one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just
Reach under the base. And,
I'm gonna start with that before I just go.
yeah.
So-
Roll an athletics check with, I believe, advantage.
Rolled the same number, so that's just lovely.
Oh.
But that's a 19, so that
Nice.
is lovely.
I think you go to pull, and at first you're like, this isn't right. It hits the top frame a little. And so you go to adjust, but then as you kind of like get back up on your feet and get a different stance, you go to pull, and it's almost like you feel like you could rip it out from the bottom and rip the bottom hinges off of this thing.
I grab, and I'm supposed to go for this lift, and I just pull out towards myself instead and yank those
Like
hinges
it.
off of the
And so-
frame and then toss it like a frisbee across the arena.
I duck.
I think,
Dirtha, watch where you're throwing things.
you and Orn, actually, no, you duck, and Orn like hops up and like rides one with his wings and spins across the room going, yeah.
I say, watch where you're throwing the door.
Sorry.
And you are
Whatever.
revealed into the next room, and the next room is the room you've been waiting to see because there is a polished marble floor, couple polished columns along the side with statues, bronze statues of the fabled pine biscuit. But then at the far end of the room, Min, you see a vault door. And it has a big lock system on it, a big turny wheel, vault stuff. And it's just about 30 feet. It's a small enough room, but that's what you see.
Okay. So is this like a big aisle?
Yeah, it's not a very big room, probably 30 by 30 square room with a vault at the end.
Before we take a step in, I kind of just want to see if I can perceive anything that looks like a trap, looks like a mechanism.
So investigation checks?
Yeah.
Okay. Check for traps.
Oh, that's bad. 7.
7? Seems clear.
We've seen so much.
Dirtha's gonna take that big, deep breath for a last extension of the rage and say, well, that was cool. And use that last effort to teleport 30 feet.
Oh,
I can keep using it.
You can keep using it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Can you blind teleport? Are you trying to go through?
I mean, we have no door.
Well, you have a vault.
No, to the end of the room.
Just into the room.
Oh, you're just teleporting to the end of the room.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I'm not trying to go through the door.
Okay, you super cool teleport right up to the vault door.
Yeah, and then so I'm in there.
I see.
And then with that, I want to do my magic awareness thing, feel deep in myself. I need to calm a little bit again.
Okay.
See if I can locate any magic that isn't behind total cover. So if there's magic behind the vault, but if I should be able to tell if there's anything in the room.
Yeah. This room is actually maybe far less magical than you would have thought, except for there is a tumbler spinny lock. I know locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, combination lock. Thank you. Well, is that the one with the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, combination lock. See, I know things. But you also see a symbol now that you would detect this that kind of glows for you as a exact opposite side of the handle, an alternative arcane lock of some kind. So you have an arcane lock and a regular lock here on this thing. So you would notice that.
Okay.
I think I take a step into the room.
Yeah. Dirtha teleported.
Dirtha's all the way over by the vault. And I go, come on, Min. There's no magic that I can see. Come on.
All right. I think I don't want to use up my spell slot. So yeah, I just sprint.
Okay. You sprint in. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
Nothing happens.
I say, okay, what do we got?
A lock for you and a lock for me.
Oh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Dirtha's so ready for this magic stuff that I flashback.
Nice.
Okay.
I thought you were going to do that.
And so we flash back. Diddly-doo.
Diddly-doo, diddly-doo.
And where are we going?
We are in Hisbjorn's cave, hanging
the
out with
the ancient
Mama
dragon.
Ancient
Yeah.
Dragon.
Yes, you guys, again, a reminder, you guys spent a good amount of the last year hunting ice trolls, saving the forest, becoming good friends with Orn and Hisbjorn too, Mama Dragon.
I'm discussing with her my want to be like the greatest wizard of all time, and my failures in school, and
Dirtha the Mighty.
And that knowing that we're going to be going into like some thievery, just discussing magic about magic locks and magic traps and things like that, and to see if she's got anything in her hoard that she can either teach me or give to me.
Okay. She goes, "Oh yes, I love magic traps myself too. I've got tons here. If you weren't friends, you would have died like 12 times over because of all the magic stuff."
I've definitely Dirtha's used her magic sense in this cave before, and it's like, oh yeah, there's one there and one there.
Spikes and fireballs and awful things, and Hisbjorn just chuckles. Ha ha ha! Yes, of course I can help with that. Now, how is your magical skill, Dirtha? I know you have aspirations to be Dirtha the Mighty, but...
Dirtha squinches her eyes shut really hard and does the whole, like, to get in. So she goes from that whole body glow, and then it dissipates, and then ends up just around her hands. And she casts dancing lights.
Okay. Hisfjorn
It's
sort
like,
of...
yes, fire magic.
Yeah.
Fire magic.
All right, well, I can work with that. And Hisfjorn spends some time. We're going to say she plucks one of her scales off of her body. She plucks a dragon scale off. And she takes her claw and she like sharpens it on the stone floor and sharpens her claw. And then she starts carving into her scale, which to your size is about a piece of paper. And she carves into it some draconic runes, which you can read.
I can read. Yeah.
And she essentially gives you a dispel magic scroll, the equivalent of. And she hands it to you, this large scale, and she goes, "Here you are. If you come across something that needs to go away magically, you read this. My magic will course through you, and you will have success."
And I can use this as many times as I want?
No. You can use it once.
Dirtha is like...
But I have lots of scales, so if you need another one, you let me know.
Dirtha's both excited and also just like disappointed that it's not reusable, because that means that...
Hisfjorn notices and gets down on your level, and she goes, "Don't worry, Dirtha. Keep at it, and one day, maybe you will be more of an arcane user. You want to go for a fly?"
Dirtha's like terrified of that thought, but also dragons are cool and helpful.
There was a mountain troll nearby that I also want to get rid of.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's kill it.
So you hop on and you take off into the sky hunting mountain trolls, and we flash forward.
And Dirtha's very carefully like folded this up and put it in her rage journal.
In her rage
So that
journal.
it's there.
Like a little page bookmark.
Yeah.
And we step forward, and you are staring at this arcane lock.
Okay.
And
I think Min was mistook what she said and was like, "All right, I can break this." So you said there's a magic lock, right?
I push Min to the side a little bit, and I go, "No, that one's yours." And I point at the combination lock and like shoulder in a little bit so that I'm
all right.
facing.
I was like, don't you have
I was about to cast knock,
Yeah,
and
you
then
actually
she flashed back.
No, it's mine. I get to do magic stuff. Dirtha is very much like,
Well, all
like
right.
I feel like
I move
feel
over.
useful now.
I move over.
Okay.
I guess I can break this one.
Do you want to do yours first?
Sure.
We'll see how you do.
Yeah, I want.
It's a pretty simple lock, so sleight of hand.
Yeah, I think just.
Or if you, it's up to you if you want to use magic, but
No, I think
it is a
she wants to
combination
save
lock.
her spell slot, so I think she just, lean up real close, push back my hair, lean up with my little elven ear, and twist and turn and
Okay.
wait for the click. 22.
Pretty easily, you break out your little thieves' tools, and you click. In the meantime, Dirtha, you hear the satisfying click of Min clearly getting the one combination lock as you eye to eye with this arcane lock.
I've turned to make it so that Min can't see over my shoulder, and I'm like looking at the arcane lock, and I pull out my rage journal and flip it open and pull out the scale that's been all tucked inside, and I start mumbling, and then I look at it and I turn the page around so it's facing the right direction, the scale.
Mm-hmm.
And then read Draconic.
Mm-hmm. And very easily, you feel a course of magic come through you, a little cold magical power from Hisfjorn, and it channels through your arms and into your fingertips, and then you feel this scale glow with power as if it's waiting to be directed towards this lock.
And I kind of have that giddy shiver of the use of the magic, and eyes all wide, just tap it, the scale, against the
Awesome.
the rune on the...
And it sucks into the stone, the scale disappears, and the lock, you hear an audible, like a soft, and the door is openable.
And I look at my fingers, and I look around for something else to touch real quick, and maybe... And everything fades.
Yep.
But
Fades away. You Your fingers have a nice little chill to them, though.
Yeah. It's that.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's a new skill.
Interesting. All right.
And
You ready?
there's a big wheelie opener thing.
I grab the top of the wheel. Say, grab the bottom.
Grab the bottom
And
twist it.
And with
Left,
a loud, satisfying.
And then right, it's like the thinking about righty tighty, lefty, and
I think we both twist it different directions at first.
It just stays
And
put.
then-
Yeah, you guys both think it's locked somehow, some more, and then you realize you're both turning the wrong directions. And with a satisfying ka-chunk, it opens and you feel the door shift its weight as it feels like it could swing open.
Dirtha's crossing her fingers for that bracelet in there.
Mhm.
I'm like trying to peek over Min's shoulder, see if I can find it.
I've
And
been waiting
you-
for this moment for 2 years.
And
I
the door softly opens up and a fog rolls out, you feel, but it's actually a soft, sifted flour
I hold my breath.
cloud. But it's just settling on the ground. It's like no one's been in here for thousands of years, but actually it's just very flowery. And
Nice.
Okay.
and as it opens fully, you see a altar in the middle of the room with a very pristine, perfect-looking, created pine biscuit. And then around the room, you see a wealth of various cooking items, magical items of sorts. This is Wrigley's
poured.
supply of his con man life, his just taking other people's things, and you see also sitting on one of the things a little recipe book box.
Question. So is the flour covering the whole room?
It's settled now. It was just for flavor again.
Well, yeah, but like, is there flour on the floor?
Yes, there's a dusting of flour everywhere.
We're gonna leave footsteps behind.
But wait,
You guys also, just a reminder,
I can cast
you have
prestidigitation.
From doors.
Doughball guarding a guard outside that you knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
You have exploded some guard dogs, fought a brown sugar golem,
Broke a
and
couple
made
doors.
absolutely zero attempt to like be stealthy. So
It's true.
footsteps are the least of your concerns in
That's true,
this
that's true.
moment.
I say, all right. And I take a step into the room.
Yep. You step in, soft clack of feet on the flour-covered stone.
I say, Orn, hold open the door.
Yeah. And
As
he
you
just
did-
looks at the door and glares at it, keeping it open with his eyes.
Good job.
Dirtha starts looking for that bracelet that was talked about.
Okay. Go ahead and make investigation check. What are you doing, man?
I'm very carefully, like, stepping over to the,
Very Dirthy.
a 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You don't see anything.
I just start
Okay.
grabbing things.
Oh yeah, if you're just gonna start like doing that and just like shifting stuff.
Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
see if I find it eventually. But
Sounds great.
as I'm looking, I'm just
grabbing
Like,
stuff.
Min,
bag
are
of
you
flour.
doing?
That's junk. Yeah, spatula. That's also junk.
Yeah, they're all like gold encrusted and beautiful.
I'm like Dirtha's totally tossing them on
Yeah.
the floor.
What is Min? You're looking around too.
I want to look for that recipe book.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's
That's-
like a box of recipe cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just open.
All right. I walk over and I think I reach my hand in and flip through the recipe cards.
Make an investigation check.
Wow. I also pulled a Dirtha. Also a 3.
A 3.
no.
Wow. Okay. And what we'll say here is that it's not so much that you guys aren't able to find this, but it's starting to take some time. Min, you're flipping through this book. You're not finding it. There's dozens, 100 recipes in here. Maybe you get distracted by a couple other decent looking recipes. Dirtha, you're just tearing apart stuff. And
I think
you're starting to kind of recognize that this is taking a long time. This is taking longer than you have spent
Say-
in here so far.
all right. You know what? Wrigley's a con man. I'm gonna bring this guy down for good. I slam the lid shut on the recipe box and stuff it in my bag.
Okay.
I'm taking all of them.
Okay. You take all of them.
He ain't cooking no more.
He ain't cooking no more. Dirtha, anything happening?
I need that bracelet.
Okay.
I think
I
I say, Dirtha, are you looking for?
need a bracelet.
Oh,
Have you seen it? Any help? Was it on your side?
I was going to say, if
I'll
you want
help
to
you.
provide help,
I'll help you.
you can
So-
either Dirtha can roll with advantage or you both can roll. I don't care.
What's your plus?
Our investigation is a 0.
I have a +1. So
Okay, so we should both roll?
yeah.
Okay.
10.
Dirtha, what'd you get?
The most Dirtha number you can possibly
A
get.
natural
a
one.
nat 1.
And you're not seeing anything, Min. You're not seeing this bracelet. And also, you're starting to wonder if that recipe was even in the box to begin with. Starting to feel a little weird about this room. And before you do anything, we are going to do another flashback. Only this one is mine.
Oh.
And we flash back
Diddly-doo,
to
diddly-doo.
just a little bit ago. You guys had ripped off the original stone door that led you into that first real kitchen. In that real kitchen room, you had fought some arcane sniffing dog constructs. And Crowbert, your uncle cousin 30 times twice removed or something, had told you that the only thing they knew about that room was that there had been some sort of trap, some sort of something to do with the floor. When you guys went into that room, you both rolled terribly, and you were attacked by these arcane dogs. And I think, I'm glad, you assumed that that was the trap. However, we cut back to the pressure plates that you guys activated by going in that room, and we cut to a room. Somewhere else in this facility, we see a half-orc sitting at a desk. He has multiple arcane monitors in front of him. Little
Wait.
portals
Wait, question.
showing. Huh?
Does he have a spinny chair and he's like,
Yeah.
he's got his arms
Yep,
up with, like,
his arms
with, like
crossed.
the fingers
And-
and like the.
We have one clip of you guys fighting arcane dogs. We have a clip of you guys fighting the sugar golems. And we have a clip of you guys in the vault room as we speak. And Regli turns to the camera, taps his little fingers together, and he goes, right where I wanted them. And he slams a button down on his desk. And you guys feel this vault floor shift and the door close.
No.
Wait,
Orin's
Orin
supposed to be
Orin's
keeping it open.
the door open.
Make a dexterity saving throw for Orin. He's going to jump in or jump out.
What's his dex?
His dex is...
Whatever it was, I rolled horribly. But
Okay, it's pretty good. It's 14.
no, what's his plus?
2.
7?
Nope. The door, Orin, stuck.
Oh.
And you guys feel the whole floor of this room start to rise. Like
Okay.
an elevator.
Okay, it's starting to rise.
Yep, the whole room as if it's a giant elevator.
Not like we're getting squished.
No, like you're taken to the top floor.
I recall now. This thing is so big,
The Biscuit Bastion,
far bigger
you have never gone
than it
up,
should be.
but it's way big. And so, you are lifted, and we flash back forward as we see Regli, right before that, stand up, put a chef hat on his head, and walk towards a door. You guys are now in a room that's lifting. What are you doing?
I am going to very quickly. Min is going to look around for an override switch, a vent somewhere that is to stop this thing rising, or a way of escape that is not the door because
Okay.
it's closed.
Go ahead and make your investigation check.
Why? 9.
Because it's
That's
fun
horrible.
for me. You see nothing. This is a cluttered room, and it keeps rising up. The flour in the room shifting around, sifting more as it rises.
Dirtha would like to know if we had any health potions that we came in with.
You got 2 flashbacks left.
I got 2 flashbacks left.
It's up to you what you want to do.
Oh.
Dirtha and Min, the elevator is rising, and it doesn't seem like you have a stopping way of doing anything.
Do I remember from dealing with Brizelda
Brizelda! Yeah.
that she had any interactions with?
I talked to her that she had talked to Wrigley before.
Yes, they had supposedly come up with like a deal, and he was gonna use her recipe and pay her in some fashion, and was betrayed, stole the recipe, and absconded with her pine biscuits.
Didn't she give you...
A sack of sack of removal, which
Sack
removes
removal, magical removal
magical
things.
effects.
That's true.
But originally, talking to Griselda, you had also been given
Originally talking, she showed me some of her recipes.
She did.
And we ate double biscuits.
A biscuit. Get it right. And they were quite good and magical in some way.
Magical.
So
biscuit.
Dirtha's going to do another flashback.
Her last
flashback.
Okay.
Back to Min and I prepping for this. And we're sitting in a kitchen in a
I mean, you guys were staying like in that house apartment across the street.
So we're in the kitchen, we're talking about things, and Dirtha's like, so why do you like biscuits so much?
Oh, well, Dirtha.
Almost like, I've also wondered that quite a lot, honestly. Every time we bowl, you're always going on and on about biscuits.
Well, Doughball and Dirtha, biscuits has always been my specialty, you know. I learned when I was young how to make biscuits, and, you know, I actually used to run a small bakery in El Terrell, and I used a little bit of magic with my biscuits, but alas, well, you know, as they say, with great baking power comes great copyright responsibility. But unfortunately,
Yeah, they do say that. Yeah, I've heard that actually twice in my life.
I think I got a little bit too brave, but I've always retained a little bit of my biscuit making abilities. In fact, how about I cook you guys some biscuits? You know, haven't gotten to do that in a while.
I'd try a biscuit.
So this is your flashback, Dirtha. What type of biscuit does Min make?
I'll pull out my book of biscuits.
So I think it's a lovely garlic cheddar loaf sort of biscuit.
Lovely. And what, pray
nice
tell,
and
does this do?
Crumbly.
Okay.
And
Nice
that
and
as
warm.
she's
That's one of
putting
my
a
better
little bit of
recipes.
magic in it there, I would hope that it would have a little bit of healing, boosting, feel good sort of power to it.
Love that. And so we eat the garlicky, biscuity goodness.
It's one of my better recipes, if I do say so myself.
And I will say, for the sake of this, you guys can roll each, we're going to say 3d8
Ooh.
plus 2, and you can each restore a first level spell slot.
I did say this is one of my better recipes.
Well, and this is, and we'll say maybe this is one where your time with Griselda, she taught you how to infuse a little more magic into it.
So for that flashback, I want us to be like baking them. I've tried it. It's like, oh, this is good. We should pack some for the road.
So then we flash
and
forward.
then flash forward, and
Dirtha
is pulling out the wizard robes, and I think I put something and finding a little pocket that she's got some crumbly biscuits of cheddar garlickiness that's created kind of a little oil stain on the inside of the pocket that I pull out and shove into my face.
And you giving one to Min as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot
I
about
held on to
these.
these for you.
Oh, thanks.
They're 2 weeks old now.
Oh gosh.
She examines it. It's just like, you know what? Drastic times call for drastic measures. She takes a bite, and
Okay.
I rolled 16 for my health.
What's going on over
Reveal.
here, Dirtha?
I'm just gonna pull up my face a whole bunch because I rolled. Dirtha is such a cursed character. You said 3d8.
Plus, yeah,
Plus 2.
plus 2.
I only rolled 7 out of
Oof.
3d8.
Out
So
of a
I have
potential 24. And you did get a spell slot back.
spell slot.
Yep.
So-
One color spray ready to go.
Oh boy.
And with that, you feel the room come.
Poor Dirtha.
I know, it's so funny. You feel the room come to a halt, and the vault door jostles free, opens once more, and you find yourselves looking out into a massive kitchen, warehouse-sized kitchen, but only with a single oven and a single prep table in the middle of the room.
There's a lot of kitchens in this place.
Wrigley always was one for theatrics. And I take out my arcane spoon and twirl it in my hand.
And you hear I was always one for theatrics, wasn't I? And you guys see a poof of flour and appearing at the oven is Regli, the mage chef.
Cue boss music.
Yeah, cue epic boss music. And he looks at you, and Min, you were always one for biscuit thievery, weren't you? I see you've made it past my biscuit bastion, but what you're really looking for is right here. And he holds out his hand, and flashing into his hand like a magician's magic trick is just like a note card. You can't see it from where you are. He's like 100 feet away. But he's holding it.
Well, Regli, I may have always had a talent for biscuit thievery, but, well, there's one thing that we have in common.
Takes one to know one.
I don't
She's
know
right.
what you're talking about.
She's right, you know.
I am the best chef of biscuits in the land.
Dirtha double fists the axe across in front of her and just starts stomping across the room.
Okay, and with that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Right.
Dude, Dirtha.
22? Yeah, 22.
Okay.
What did you get?
15?
That's
That's not so
not bad. That's
that's
not
so
bad.
bad.
What are you doing there? That's high.
Well, because I had an accidental roll while you were talking that was a 19, and so it just keeps going.
Okay. Okay. And so you guys go into the room. He's about 100 feet away, but he sees you approach.
Yeah.
It's actually both your guys' turn first.
Oh.
But he flicks the card, it disappears, and he has a chef hat on. He has an apron on again, this half-orc guy, curly mustache out the sides of his face. And he goes, "Welcome to my prep kitchen." And then he pulls out a knife, and he pulls out an onion-shaped object, and he starts chopping an onion as you approach.
He's just chopping an onion.
That's all he's doing.
Dirtha. Oh no, we're.
We are in initiative order. Min, you are first.
This guy's 100 feet away from
He's
me.
100 feet away from you.
He made the recipe disappear.
Yep.
I would like to, again, my scales flash and form another Sorceress Burst.
Does it have the
Spoon.
range?
It has, Sorceress Burst has a range of 120 feet.
Okay.
I say, you're supposed to cook things before you eat them, because I'm going to make this cold damage.
Okay.
Well, at least chill this guy.
Okay. You launch a cold damage spell out at Regli.
Boop. He only takes 4.
Does it have to hit?
Oh, yeah. It has to hit first. 22.
Yep, that hits.
Yee, 4.
4 cold damage.
Yeah, 4 cold damage.
Okay.
That's
And are
this
you
guy.
moving into the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want him to press
You
another button
step
just in
into
case.
the room.
Just barely into the room.
As you step into the room, you step your first foot in. The whole outside edges of the room open up these little portal monitors, and it's just different angles of the fight. And Dirtha, it is your turn as all these basically TVs appear on the wall.
I just look around and say, we're in the room. Why do we need to see this?
For style, he says.
I know.
And he starts speed chopping the onion.
I know that Min's here for the recipe, and that's our goal. But also, there's this actual mage in front of me, and that makes Dirtha mad. And she wants to know, can I see if he's wearing the bracelet?
You're investigating. I will give, it's a lower DC. You know that it exists, and you are looking for something that was described to you.
7.
7, maybe. He's too far. You're still too far. You'd have to get a lot closer.
So I'd like to come in and be like, that recipe is Brizelda's. That shouldn't be your notoriety. And then that's a really big word for Dirtha, and she goes, whoa.
Take 4 psychic damage.
Good
And then,
job.
so I'm just going to rush up to him and be yelling about him owing me. And then it's just so that, does that bring me? That's 60 feet.
60 feet, you're 40
So I'm
feet.
still
Yep.
I'm still a ways away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
he
that's
was
all I can do this
Definitely a
time.
huge giant room. With that, he goes, Brizelda, huh? Oh, looks like you got a what do you call that? A backer? You got a
Investor.
investor this time, huh, Min? You got a
Indeed.
friend too, I see. But I got rid of the other one, didn't I? And you guys cut, and he snaps his finger, and one of the TVs shows Orn in battle with a brown sugar golem again down
Another
below.
one?
And it looks
Oh.
smaller.
He got
And
trapped outside.
he got trapped outside, and
Oh.
he's having to fight the regurgitated brown sugar golem. And he snaps, and the TV goes away. And he goes, "And you've stepped into my realm. Griselda won't ever get the recipe, and neither will you." And he finishes chopping the onion, and then he holds up the cutting board, and he's going to fling it towards you.
No.
And
No, not the onion.
and this
Wait, can it reach
ridiculous
100 feet?
onion magic missile, as it launches off of the cutting board, the onions travel into little oniony darts, and they both fly right towards you guys, and 3 darts each. Onions hit you in the eyes and make you cry, and they just automatically hit. Dirtha, you take, wow, 6 damage, not bad. Min, from 120 feet away range, you take 8 damage from onion magic missiles that launch towards you. And then he just goes, "But do come try my food anyway." And he pulls out a cantaloupe. And he twirls his knife in the air, spins it really cool, and starts cutting.
I sniff. Those tears are rolling down.
Is it my turn?
It is now your turn, Min, as this chef, this magical chef, is launching things at you.
Okay. Min's breathing heavily, and she's going to, I think, pull out a little bit of, this is just for flavor, but pull out a little bit of seasoning from a pouch at her side and throw it into the magic. And it flares into a blue ball of electricity.
Oh,
And
cool.
I am casting a 2nd level chromatic orb at Wrigley.
Do I roll or do you roll?
Come on. 8. I got a nat 1.
And
Wait, does it explode?
8. It launches out, and as it comes closer to him, he takes the cantaloupe and throws it into the air ahead of him, and it bursts the chromatic orb a little early. And the cantaloupe is shocked.
Right.
But not Wrigley. Okay, Dirtha, you're up.
Dirtha's still a little bit away.
Yeah, you're
40 feet.
You're 40 feet away, and he's just...
do you
So
pull
I'm
out
going to
next?
move
He
the.
pulled out a cucumber.
So Dirtha's going to get my full movement, still be a bit away, and knowing in that time frame I can't get quite close enough to swing that axe, but I'm going to lunge forward with the eyes squinched shut, and do cast my color spray again on him.
Okay.
Nice.
Since I got that back.
Your color spray
Which is
again,
a 15-foot cone, and you need to make a Constitution save.
I got a 2 naturally, so
So
no.
it was a bright, super flash of light. Dirtha's head is like turned to the side so that she doesn't end up getting blinded by it at all. But you just see the blast of that orange, lovely, fiery looking glow. And you are blinded until the end of your next turn.
Okay. He does look mad at this. Dirtha, as you turn and blast him with the color spray, his hand goes up to his eyes. And I think with that, you see on his wrist a beautifully orangey, yellowy red bracelet around his hand.
That's gonna be mine.
He goes, "I can't see. How am I supposed to cut this cucumber?" And
You just hear Min from the sidelines shout, "I hope you chop your finger."
and he goes, "I don't need to see to do this." And he's going to launch over the table towards you, knowing roughly where you are. And then I'm assuming blinded is disadvantage on...
Disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
And Min for you. Advantage on attack rolls. And also you'll any ability checks. So if you have something that forces
Well, ability checks.
Oh, ability checks
yeah,
are different.
Not saving
Okay,
throws,
yeah.
So, but hitting him. Okay, yeah, he's covering his eyes. He gets up close to you. He spins his little cleaver knife around in his hand, and then he's going to go for 2 attacks onto Dirtha at disadvantage.
at disadvantage, yeah.
Oh, I rolled so good. That's still a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits
And then
Dirtha.
the second attack. Okay, you're so lucky. I got a nat 20 and then a 2.
No.
So the first attack hits.
Okay.
He comes out with his cleaver knife, and he is going to slash towards you. You take 7 slashing damage,
Okay.
As it hits you, you feel the extra sting of the onion in your wound,
Oh.
and you take an additional 1 point of acid damage from the onion. And that is his turn. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. As a bonus action, he is going to pull a biscuit from his pocket and eat it. And you don't know what happens.
No.
That's his bonus action. And that is now Min's turn.
How far away is he from me now?
He moved to Dirtha. He's about 50 feet away from you. But he is melee with Dirtha.
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost, I think. I don't want to hit Dirtha.
Okay. You hit him with a Ray of Frost. Is that me or you?
That's me for a 11.
11 hits. Does not have high magic
Right.
user armor.
6 cold damage.
6 cold damage, okay.
That is.
He takes it and he goes, Gah! I don't know who did that, but it was cold. And I didn't like it. And that's going to be your turn with everything you did.
Yeah.
You moved, you checked,
Yeah,
you
that's
casted.
my turn.
Dirtha, there's a guy in front of you, covering his eyes, wearing a bracelet, wielding a cleaver, covered in onion juice.
He's got my bracelet.
Huh?
Dirtha is going to go into a rage. He's a bad mage and he doesn't deserve to have magic. So my wild surge happens. You see her as she gets all "Rrrr," and
Has it been new every time?
yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
been new every time.
Nice.
Nice.
So shadowy tendrils
Ooh.
start to lash around me.
Okay.
As he's stepped into me.
Yeah, he's melee.
So he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wow,
actually.
another 2 con saving throw.
So
no.
he fails, and he's going to take 1d12 necrotic damage, and I rolled an 8.
Hey.
So 8 necrotic damage
Okay.
to
That's good to
Regli.
know.
And then I am going to gain 1d12 temporary hit points.
Ooh, cool.
Got a vampire. Oh.
Little vampiric touch.
And
he-
I kind of needed those.
And that's just your bonus action.
And that is that's just raging.
Yeah. So
So I have some temp hit points and those shadowy tendrils.
cool.
Does not say I get to use this again though. So that just
Yeah, it's
whipped
just a
out and
burst
just
of
happened.
rage.
It's just
Yeah,
a
exactly.
burst. I am going to. I could try to just steal it.
You could just try to steal it.
I could just try to. Yeah. So Dirtha's going to
Just 'cause
go
you
and
have
try to
rage and you have
grab and
Advantage, yeah.
Yeah, and yank. I want the bracelet so that I can fireball.
Okay. So you go for essentially a grapple on him,
Sure.
and you're just trying to rip the bracelet off.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Opposed
mine.
athletics checks.
Okay.
And I believe you have
And I get
advantage.
advantage.
I did roll okay.
Oh.
But I rolled.
He is a half orc. He has good enough stats, but that is a 14.
So I rolled a Dirtha with a 3,
Okay.
but then advantage saved me, and so I rolled a 16,
Ooh.
Oh.
Close.
which is a 21.
Oh, you
Oh,
rolled
yeah.
a 16.
Rolled.
And so, Dirtha, he's
Successful.
covering his eyes. You reach forward, you grab his arm, and you rip the bracelet off right as his eyes kind of come to, and he's looking at you, and he goes, "No, that's my bracelet."
And I roll it on my left.
Energy,
hand.
you feel power course through you. You feel good.
Feel mighty.
You feel mighty.
Yeah.
And with that, Regli goes, "No, not like this." And he's going to take his knife in one hand, and he's going to pull out in his other hand a knife sharpening tool. And he's going to sharpen his knives up in the air. And then he's going to, as he's sharpening them, cast a spell as he reaches forward and kind of pushes his hands towards you, Dirtha, and his arms course through with this magical power, and you are blasted by a very, very hot pepper spray, which is the equivalent of burning hands.
Okay.
So you must take a dexterity saving throw with a 15-foot cone, and you were not quite in the range, I don't believe, Min. So,
I get advantage and +1.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice. It's a lot
I
of dice.
got a 13.
a 13 does not succeed.
Oh, no.
And you take 16 points of spicy pepper damage the equivalent of fire damage. Min, it is your turn.
Just so you know, Dirtha's
not doing too
hanging
hot.
on by a thread. She suddenly, like, with that, like, happy smile on her face of, like, yes, I got the bracelet, is now suddenly, like, very wide-eyed and stumbly.
Minesdir Luridian would like to use the last flashback.
The last flashback of the campaign. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Where do we go?
And we flash back to not last week, not a couple months ago, not even this year. No, we flash back to 2 years ago.
Oh, love it.
Min, as some of our listeners may recall, was trying to steal the pie and biscuit recipe 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And she did quite a bit of research on Wrigley.
Okay.
She knew where he was supposed to keep his safe, and she knew where the back door was. She knew the guards' times.
You did know all of that.
But Min thinks back to that 2 years ago. She thinks back to what she researched about Wrigley. And if Wrigley ever had a particular disliking or weakness to anything, as she thinks back to
Okay.
her
I
heist.
see. So I don't think you need to roll this as a flashback. You kind of get the benefits of you deciding. Are you thinking like, here you go. Wrigley, as you did your research and you know about him and you're thinking about him again, really, really bad allergy to parsley.
All right.
And so you knew this going in.
You know, Min, as a biscuit cook, always does keep a couple ingredients on her.
Okay.
And I pull out pouch from my side and pull out some parsley.
Okay.
And I am going to, if you allow me, I want to run straight up
Okay.
to Wrigley and shove a bunch of parsley in his face as whatever that is for an action.
I love it, honestly. So, Dirtha, you're putting on this bracelet. You're feeling the surge of mightiness. Wrigley just activated a spicy pepper attack. You got hit. You hurt.
I'm gasping.
And
And
he
then
hit us in the face, and I say, "Joke's on you, buddy."
And you suddenly you see Min rush over, slide past you, and hold forth sprigs of parsley and just like tickle the guy in the face
Yep.
with these. Min. Actually, no, this is on me. A parsley attack against Wrigley, who I have said is allergic. He is going to roll a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. 2. Again, the third 2 I've rolled for Constitution saving throws for
Wow.
Wrigley. Can you please roll 3d8 parsley damage against our chef, Wrigley?
Right. 11 parsley damage.
11 parsley damage.
Damage.
His nose crinkles up and he goes, "Hashoo! No, not parsley! Hashoo!" And he starts to stumble backwards. Dirtha, he stumbles about 10 feet back.
As I've slid past her.
Well, yeah, from both of you. You've stopped to do that. He stumbles and he's sneezing and he's backing up against his prep table. And it is your turn. Well, you also feel this power course through you.
Oh.
And you feel an energy inside that you haven't felt before. Brizelda's words in the back of your mind, the Ember Brand, this bracelet that allowed you to cast fire. And you feel as though you could, in this moment, do something.
My eyes are watering. I'm gasping from the hot sauce sort of attack thing. But I reach out the bracelet hand and focus really, really hard to channel that. And please be fire. Please be fire. Please be fire.
And I think as he's stumbling back, he's like, "You'll never get the recipes from me. I stole them fair and square. And yeah, I'm the best biscuit mage in the world." And you feel this power course through the bracelet, course through your arm. And you are able to cast a firebolt spell.
Yeah.
As character-wise, technically, you have the Magic Initiate feat, and you can actually, on certain level ups, change what that is. And so in this moment, Dirtha feels the ability to cast a new cantrip, not just dancing lights, but a firebolt spell.
Yes.
And
Nice.
fire courses through you, and a firebolt launches out.
Uh-huh.
Please roll the damage of the firebolt spell. He's doing bad. He's stumbling back, allergic reactioning. He has no Benadryl.
I always knew that my research would come in handy one day. One day, Wrigley.
Okay, it is 1d10.
Yep, it's a pretty small cantrip, but he doesn't have a lot of health.
So I rolled a 4.
With exactly 4 hit points left. He was at 28, and he has 32 total health.
Yes.
You
Yeah, the firebolt comes coursing out of the bracelet, and Dirtha just gets this wild grin on her face, and she just goes, yes! As the firebolt just like explodes off of his chef hat and finishes like knocking him over as he's stumbling back.
So he gets hit, the chef's hat tossed aside, the apron burned off, and he blasts back into his console, and all the TVs in the room like switch for a second, and you guys see that it's displaying the city. It's like you're looking through windows, and then all of a sudden you hear the video and the voice of Wrigley going, "I'm the best biscuit thief, and I stole those recipes fair and square, and you'll never catch." It's a recording of what just happened, and you see people in the city looking up at these portaled TVs of this man they thought was their biscuity hero revealing his betrayal to the city.
Can they see us?
They do see you guys standing there. The video fades and they see you tickle him in the nose with some parsley and Dirtha blast him backwards, and then you guys are standing there almost as if there's like a transmission here in this moment, if you want to say something
Okay.
cool.
I step up. Citizens of Outerell.
Okay.
This man, Wrigley, who has made a business off of these biscuits, he is a fake.
Gasps all around through the televisions.
His famous pine biscuit stolen from the one and only Brizelda, the sorcerogress.
Brizelda. I've heard of her.
Now, I would like to say, Wrigley's Biscuit Bastion would like to offer free Biscuit Wednesday for anybody who would like to come by.
Wrigley, right before he passes out, is like, "No, that's too generous." And then he passes out. And the TVs shut off. And we flash forward.
Ba-da-doo! Well, the backwards is
And we
ba-da-doo, so
flash
that's
forward
ba-da-doo.
a week. You guys were celebrated by the town. Wrigley's Biscuit Bastion lasted one free Biscuit Wednesday, and then it had to close its doors. Wrigley is in recovery still, in jail, arrested. You were able to find the pine biscuit recipe, and you guys head back to Brizelda's
I
hut.
stumbled down the elevator to
Yeah.
rescue Orn.
Orn, you go down there, and Orn is just eating a brown sugar golem. No issue at all for Orn.
Nice.
Was able to defeat it. Totally on a sugar high. Gonna
say,
crash so hard.
Orn, let's
yeah.
let's get you back into the forest for
Okay.
a little while.
And we flash forward, and we're sitting there at the cottage, and Brizelda is cooking you up, with Min's help, the first new batch of the pine biscuit recipe, and she hands Min a card with the recipe on it. She goes, "Here's your copy from me, Brizelda, the sorcerer ogress."
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. And here we go. And she pulls out a fresh, warm biscuit, but she goes, Dirtha, it's a little undercooked. I don't suppose you could help out a little.
Dirtha just like lights up. Dirtha, the mighty, would love to help and casts firebolt at the biscuit.
Yep. And as
Zaps it.
you cast firebolt at the biscuit, it heats up, and you feel the bracelet on your hand fall off.
No,
Hit the ground, shatter completely, and Brizelda just starts laughing.
no.
She goes, "Well,
I would like to rage.
You go into a rage.
What's your
And
wild magic ability?
What does it do? Just because it's hilarious.
I just am
Actually,
holding-
you know what? I know what it does.
No.
Because as you go into a rage,
Yeah.
you hold your hands out in fury.
Oh, yes.
And with a burst more powerful than you could have ever thought before, a firebolt in both hands launches out into the air, and Brizelda goes, that bracelet was worthless anyway. I think it was sentimental to Regli. I just knew you had to do it. You had to believe in yourself. And you launch 2 firebolts into the sky.
Reverse Biscuit's psychology. Of course.
It's a sorcerer ogress's favorite pastime.
I'm going to visit you again. I have a lot to
Please
learn
do.
from
I'm going to start a business. Brizelda's Biscuits. There's a biscuit deficit in this town that needs filling. And Brizelda's there to make it happen. And she snaps her fingers and her whole hut turns into a massive, beautiful cafe. Kitchen. Dirtha, you're able to cast a firebolt spell whenever you please.
I'm just like doing that over, like
She's
making it look like dragon breath.
Yeah. And like fireworks in the sky, Min, you take a bite of the
I've been
pine
waiting for this
biscuit
moment
that you have
for
prepared.
so long.
And it is the best, most beautiful, most delicious biscuit you have ever eaten.
Min takes a bite, actually just sets it down very calmly on the table,
Okay.
and stands up, and she does a huge squeal.
And with a squeal from Min and fireworks in the sky from you and the crazy what a crazy time. We're going to end the Biscuit Heist session. Applause for everybody. Yay! Dirtha the Mighty. Min
Dirtha had
the
4
mighty.
health left.
And with that, we will end our episode. We will end our one-shot. Thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
Dad.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Adventurous.
Yeah,
that.
A new campaign of
Of Dadventurous.
Goodbye.
You guys always like point at me. You're like, hey, do it with us. And then you didn't, neither of you did it.